Hello, this is the second episode of my zine collection, and today I wanted to show a haul of Microcosm zines that I got in the mail a while ago, just so you guys can get an idea of what to get from Microcosm. So the first few things that I got were a few books, and this one is from one of my favorite publishers, which is Crime Think, and that's their website. Basically, this book talks about the border between Mexico and America, and it talks, and I found it really interesting, it talks about, how many people have died. It makes comparisons to why am I blanking? Oh no, I forget. But anyway, it talks about how many people died and seems really interesting, and I love this publisher. They come out with some really good books, and you can also read this, I think, for free on their website if you don't have any money to buy it. Second book I got was How Not to Kill Yourself, A Survival Guide for Imaginative Pessimists. And I saw the video for this on the Kickstarter for this, and I really like the idea that Seth Seitz he's not like a psychologist or anything. He's just someone who went through depression, and I've read a quarter of this, and so far the main thing I got from it was that happiness comes kind of from within you, and if you're waiting for a perfect world to be happy, it's not ever going to happen. And I know a book is good when I just started it and I'm already getting these kind of revelations. So another zine that I got that kind of goes along with that is I'm trying to find it here. Did I really? Oh, I think I found it. Okay. Which is Getting Over It by Dr. Faith G. Harper. And basically she has a line of zines about mental health with Microcosm, where she talks about one she has about getting through having a job, things like that. And this one was kind of how to get over something in your life. And from the first few pages I've read, I've already kind of came through with a revelation, which is basically that the stories that we tell ourselves can actually dictate our lives. And when I read that, it made me think, what story am I telling myself? So these series of zines from her are really good, and it's really good to have around, so you can kind of take some time for your mental health. And another book that I got is another from Crime Think, and it's called Off the Map. And another thing that I love from Crime Think, not only the content, but the layout of the books is just so readable. And they always come with illustrations and pictures, and I really love, and this might sound weird, but their books feel good in your hand. It's just a really, really good, interesting. This is about them living in a little apartment off Prague, kind of living off the map. Which I find really interesting, so definitely recommend that. Another zine that I picked up was called, that's the back, Evolution, which is based off of, I'm pretty sure, the artist taking LSD, which I've never done, but I think the art is pretty cool. Cool thing to have in my collection. And another thing I got was Anarchism, Arguments For and Against. And actually a lot of the zines that I own are on anarchism. I find, I don't know, I like reading about anarchy in zine form. If I'm going to read a historical or truly informative zine, it's probably going to be on anarchy. So this is basically taking Albert Meltzer's arguments, and I started reading it. It's not an introductory anarchist zine. You can still get it, but I know I'm gonna have to do research to get through it, so keep that in mind. Still worth it. I picked up a few xerography debt, and in my first episode, I had an issue of this, but I didn't really explain it that well. It's basically these zines that come out, I think, semi-annually. It's been published since like 1998 or 1999. This one's from 2015. And yeah, so it's basically they have all these zine creators that obviously collect them as well. They have like short essays, and then most of it is reviews of zines that people have. This is another issue that I got of it, which, oh my gosh, the cover is just amazing. The meme is kind of outdated, but who really cares? And I was actually reading this, waiting for one of my classes to start, and kind of weird. So who else would read that in public? Who really cares, right? And yet another issue, I'm pretty sure this is the most recent one. No, it's from 2009. But same gist. You can get a lot of the back issues. I think the newest one came out in December of 2017, if I'm correct. So definitely check it out. Like, you know, totally filled with really cool zines. Even if you don't buy all of them, it's cool to see what's out there. This is a personal finance zine. And I'm now a junior in college, so I need to start learning some stuff. So I thought, and I know I get kind of like nervous when I read about personal finance, but I just thought it was really interesting. And the layout is really awesome. It's cool. This is another one from Crime Think. And the struggle is not for martyrdom, but for life. And seriously, there's never a zine that I've gotten from them that I didn't like. Their layout is just so awesome and informative, and it's a lot about like the anti-fascist movement, anarchy, revolution, like protesting. It's really interesting stuff. And on their website, you can find a lot of their stuff there for free, because they believe obviously in like freedom of information. This one is called The Motivation to Write. And it's kind of cool. It has like a textured cover. You can hear that. And I'm a very casual writer. And I've really decided that what makes me happiest is like reading and writing. So I was hoping, to find ways to stay motivated, despite being busy from other stuff. So I'm really excited. And I got one of the last things I wanted to show was these issues of Comet Bus, and Aaron Comet Bus is really famous in the zine scene. That rhymed. And basically it's like, it is just a smodge podge of fiction, true poetry, tales about being on the road, on tour with punk. And if you're interested in punk, you need to go get some. If I could recommend anything out of all this, it would be Comet Bus. And again, they have a lot of back issues, and I love this so much. I have another issue from earlier, and can't wait to read them. Oh my goodness, yet another issue of Xerography Debt. I think this is, December 2017. Really thick, pretty thick issue. And their covers are always really cool. I just love it. And for my last thing I wanted to show was like a little shout out for, he's sort of like my Instagram friend. We follow each other. The Screever Zine. I'm going to leave his Instagram below. And basically, this is filled with like recipes, reviews. He lives in, I think in northern England, if I'm correct, in this really small part of it, like vegetarian. He has reviews of like different bands in the area. He interviews some skateboarder, and just really, it's like a passion project, and who doesn't love that? And it's the classic like cut and paste homemade zine. That's my favorite. So you look at it. So awesome. So really, I highly encourage you to check him out. He's really, really nice. And he also has like a comic book series called Ground, which is so cool. Like, look how it's tied together with this. And issue 1. And it's a really, like, this issue kind of goes over, actually it might be the second issue, but like he goes over themes of like being stuck in minimum wage work. The like main protagonist, she went to like art school, but she can't find like an art career job. She works at a coffee shop, and I work at a coffee shop, so I thought this was really, and it's like a passion project. So I'm gonna leave links below. So beautiful. I love when people work on things like that. So those are all the zines from Microcosm and a few from the Screever zine. So I'm going to leave some links below, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.